Hello and welcome to another unboxing from Pushing Cardboard. I'm Grant Lindenberg, and today we're going to be taking a look at A Greater Victory, the latest in the blind sword systems from Revolution Games. This one is the battle is a Battle of South Mountain, September 14th, 1862, and this is designed by Steve Carey, and I think it's the seventh game in the blind sword system, originally conceived by Herman Luttmann. This is rare for me. This is a boxed version I got from I met up with the fellas from Revolution down at the GMT weekend at the warehouse, and it was nice to meet Roger and Steve and Rich, and got my hands on an actual boxed copy instead of the usual bagged copy that I usually order from these guys. So that's nice. It's a beautiful black box with a lovely piece of art on the front, but let's dive right in and have a look at what's going on with this game. Okay, first up we have I see, this is a Union Brigade activation display. This shows the different divisions. It looks like there's about eight divisions for the Union, along with all the brigades that make up those divisions. I haven't played all the blind swords games, so I'm not sure how this comes into play, or if it's just for information, but I imagine it's probably for some sort of play. Anyway, there we go. That's the first thing. If this was the bagged version of the game, this would be the front piece for sure, but the reverse side is the turn record track, victory point track, and the broken track. If you've played the blind sword systems, you know how if you have a piece that breaks down so much that it's eliminated from the board, it usually goes in the broken box 3, 2, or 1, and then every turn they move one forward until they're available again. There's also the turn record track that has not just the turn record, but also any events that happen during the game, and also the starting and end dates for the different scenarios that are included in the game. So that's the turn record track. Confederate Brigade activation display. There's only 3 divisions for the Confederates in this game. D.H. Hill, Hood, and D.R. Jones. Although it looks like 5 or 6 units in the Hills division, but looks like more units for the North in this game. Here's 2 of the same player aid. This has got the sequence and play down one side, terrain effects for infantry, artillery, cavalry, etc. Brigade orders. This is always interesting. Depending on the scale of the blind swords game, the amount of movement points you get for attack, defend, maneuver, and regroup are different. And in one maneuver gets 7, and some maneuver only gets 6, or might even get 8, I suppose. So that's always interesting. General casualty table, something you don't want to have to roll on. A couple copies of the combat results table. This will be familiar to any blind swords players. This is their where your results come. Either they're nothing, or else they're green, yellow, or red. And all your shifts for the fire combat or close combat are here. Your weapon adjustments, and then once you find out which color you have to roll on, you go to the cohesion test tables. And if it was a fire combat, you use this one, and if it's a close combat cohesion test, you use this one, which also has the added white chart as opposed to just the green, yellow, and red, and a train key. So there you go. So that's the cohesion test tables and the combat results tables. Events charts. This is looks like all 6 of the events are the same for the Union and for the Confederates in this game. Sometimes 4 or 5 of them are the same, and then each have their own individual one, or Oh, on the back side of these, there's some individual ones. So it looks like maybe they have 6 that they share, and then four or 5 unique ones. Okay, that's very interesting. Very good. Here is the Blind Swords series rulebook. This is a 16-page rulebook in classic Revolution style, where it's just 2-color, black and white, a little bit of gray for the headings. The rulebooks I find are getting better and better. The layout is a little, how do you say it, less heavy. It's there's a little more space. It's a little easier on the eye. So yeah, probably if you've played some Blind Swords, you may have seen this before. Not the early Blind Swords games just had their own rule book, no series rule, and then expansion rules, or individual rules for the different games. But it looks like they've moved to a series rules. So this is a series rule book. Oh, and this is nice. Look at this. This is the exclusive rules are full color. So that's another 16-page rule book with sort of a semi-gloss. Oh yeah, really nice. This is the same nice layout as the other. And the scenarios start on page 8. So only about half the book is exclusive rules for this volume, and the other half is the scenarios. Well, that's great. That's a very lovely rule book. That's a step up for Revolution games as well. That looks really great. Good job. Oh, rules and charts layouts, Richard Handwith. So good job, Richard. That looks really great. Here's our first counters. Not a lot of counters here. This is the counters for the Confederates. I'll see if I can get a... That's better. Okay, so you can sort of see what the Confederates look like, and there's the backs where they're once they're flipped, once I've taken it's sort of like a step loss in this game. You can see a lot of the half the counter sheet is taken up with the shaken and disrupted markers for the Confederates. Yeah, here we see for the North, there's far more units, so that's interesting. I'm not sure what that's about, but there's the Union backside. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, nice clear counters as always. They do a great job. And here's the thing I think many people have probably been waiting to see. This is, I think, maybe the first game they've done in this series without Rick Barber as the map artist. I think that might be the case. So it's done very much in the style of Rick Barber. That's just half the map. Here's the other half. I don't have a big enough frame to get it all in there for you, but maybe we can. Yeah, you can sort of see that it's very much like his maps, just not, to my eye, not quite as busy as some of the other maps, but definitely the same style of drawing and coloring. Looks really good, and very. What do we got? 6, yeah, all the way up to 9. So there's a lot of levels. This would make quite the layer cake if somebody did a, yeah, well, up to 11 on this side. So yeah, this is definitely, when they say South Mountain, they mean South Mountain. Okay, well that's it. That's a greater victory from Revolution Games, designed by Steve Carey. Yeah, check it out. It looks like a great game. And if you want to find out more about the blind sword system, coming up on the podcast in the next month or two, I'll have a interview with Steve Carey where he talks about his design of this and other games. So, thanks again for listening. This has been Pushing Cardboard.